Morning.
Good morning, Jeremy.
That sounded like the paper.
Yeah, you want me to get it?
Would you please?
Yeah, sure.
How's he doing?
Well, I'd say that's pretty obvious.
Have you seen Ann this morning?
No, she was so exhausted after that ordeal yesterday, I thought maybe I'd let her sleep.
Good idea.
Well, I think I'm going to call Jessie after breakfast and see if I can't get someone to cover Ann on her shift today.
That's a good idea, too.
Oh, Jeremy, come and sit down, dear. Your breakfast's going to get cold.
Okay. Oh, no.
What is it, Jeremy?
Look!
What?
Look.
Oh, Steve, how could they do this?
What does it say, Audrey?
I don't think you want to see it, Ann.
Please?
Well, they certainly don't waste any time, do they?
I think the whole thing is very rotten.
Jeremy, I'm sorry.
You're sorry? You don't have to be sorry. You've never done anything wrong in your life, has she?
Hi. Hope we're not too early.
Not at all.
Alice come in yet?
No, I told her to sleep late this morning.
Lesley, listen, I can't thank you enough for taking care of PJ last night.
You're welcome. I just hope you got some sleep.
No, as a matter of fact, I didn't get too much. How is he?
He's asleep still, or he was the last time I looked. Do you want me to get him?
No, not yet.
Well, okay, come on. I've got some tea here for you.
Thank you.
Just, you can fix it for yourself.
Right, Jeff?
if you like.
No, thanks. Leslie, how was PJ last night? Did he wake up during the night? Any nightmares?
Well, he woke up a couple of times, but I think it was mostly because he was in a strange house.
Did he ask for his mother?
Sure. I don't know what to say to him. I just kept saying that she loved him very much, and he was being a real good boy.
I guess we can't very well tell him that his mother was in a sanitarium, can we? Leslie, tell me, how do you tell a 3-year-old boy that his mother is dead? That his parents, or the people he knew as parents, were gone? I'd really like to know how I'm going to tell him I'm his real father. That's something that I don't see how I'm going to make him understand.
Have you talked to Ann at all yet?
No, I was going to stop by there last night, but she'd already gone to bed. And this morning I had to see PJ first. Why don't you call her? You don't mind?
Jeff, don't even ask, please.
Thanks.
How is he?
Not good. Audrey, can I speak to Hannah, please?
Yes, just a moment. And it's Jeff.
Jeff?
Annie. Anna, are you all right?
You seen the paper?
No. Don't tell me, please.
Read the front page.
Oh, baby, I'm sorry. Listen, I'm at Leslie's right now, and I gotta get some things straightened out with PJ. I'm gonna have to tell him about Diana somehow. But I'll come over right afterwards, all right?
Well, I'm going to go to work. I've got to do it, Jeff. For myself.
All right. I'll see you at the hospital then.
Fine.
Hey, I love you.
Bye-bye.
Come in.
This is Mrs. Renfrew, Captain.
Yes, thanks for coming down, Mrs. Renfrew. Excuse me, Mrs. Renfrew? Are you by any chance the same woman who was working with Diana Taylor and Ann Logan on the capes for the parade?
Yes, I am.
She's also the woman that called this morning about the murder.
Oh?
I saw Ann Logan in the corridor outside Mrs. Taylor's apartment.
When?
The night of the murder.
Mrs. Renfrew, will you please sit down?
Thank you.
Can I get you anything, Captain?
Yes, would you send Marilyn in with the tape recorder, please? I usually tape these sessions, if you don't mind. Would you like a cup of coffee?
Oh, thank you, but no, I just want to get this over with.
All right. Marilyn, this is Mrs. Renfrew. Marilyn will work the tape recorder there. We certainly appreciate your call, Mrs. Renfrew.
I think it's absolutely disgusting, this happening to poor Mrs. Taylor. She was such a lovely, kind, considerate woman to have so much tragedy around her. Her husband died last year, you know. And now, poor little thing.
I take it you knew her for quite some time.
Sometime, yes. Oh, she was the one that got me all the work on the nurses' capes in the parade. I'm a seamstress. Oh, you said you knew that.
Yes, Miss Ann Logan told me about you.
That woman, how could she do such a thing to Mrs. Taylor? And I feel like the whole thing is my fault.
Your fault?
Captain, I don't know how I'm ever going to live with myself. I never should have taken Miss Logan's word for it.
Taking her word? Mrs. Renfrew, I think it would be better if you would start from the beginning and tell me just what happened.
She said Mrs. Taylor didn't need to be disturbed.
Now, when was this?
Well, I was supposed to deliver the capes to Mrs. Taylor, and Ann Logan was going to pick them up there. Well, when I got to Mrs. Taylor's, Miss Logan was standing outside the apartment door, in the corridor, just outside. That's where she was. Anyway, she had just come out of Mrs. Taylor's apartment, and she was crying.
Crying?
Well, she looked as if she'd been crying. Her eyes were all red and everything. Anyway, I told her that I was going to take the capes into Mrs. Taylor, but she said we didn't have to disturb her, that Mrs. Taylor's little boy was sleeping and we shouldn't disturb her. So I gave her the capes right there on the spot. Now I know I shouldn't have done that. I handed those capes right over to the woman who had murdered Mrs. Taylor.
Mrs. Renfrew, can you tell me about what time this was?
The time?
Yes.
Oh, well, let me think. I was supposed to deliver the capes at 8:30. I was running late, though, and much later than I had planned, so I checked my watch just before going into the building. Little did I know that I was too late to stop Mrs. Taylor's murder.
Please, Mrs. Renfrew, here. Please. You've really been quite a help to us.
I hope so, Captain. May I go now?
If you don't mind, I do have a couple of questions I'd like to ask you.
Oh.
First, once again, can you tell me what time it was you saw Ann Logan in that corridor?
I'm just sorry that the last time I saw her, we had a lousy fight. I mean, I was really rotten to her. When I think of the things I said to her...
Jeff, you can't undo the past. Don't try.
I get that.
Thank you.
Hi.
Jeff's exchange said he was here.
They both are.
Hi, Jeff. Howard. How are you? Rick? Hi. I hope I'm not interrupting you, but in all the confusion yesterday, there's something we never talked about.
What's that?
Diana's will. She never signed the new one.
She didn't.
No. It was in her purse, all ready to be signed, but she never got around to it.
Does that mean that the other will, that's still in effect?
The original will, exactly. Which means that Jeff and Heather automatically get custody of PJ, as stipulated in the original will. And that means you can have your son today if you want.
That's wonderful.
Well, hey, how do you feel? That means you got a son right now.
I thought you'd want to know right away.
Yeah. It's great, Howard. Thanks. Thanks.
Of course, Heather has joint custody with you, but as long as she's in the sanitarium.
Sorry. I'm not going to let that woman anywhere near my son. I'm sorry. I mean that.
Jeff, look, let's not talk about that right now. The thing is, you've got your son. And that's all that matters.
Yeah. Now all I have to worry about is Anne. Howard, I'm telling you, she could not have had anything to do with that murder. No way.
Jeff, Ramsey has some incriminating evidence. I saw it. But as an officer of the court, that's all I can tell you.
Really outdid yourself this morning, Audrey.
Oh, thank you. Ronnie's going to be so upset when he hears we had waffles.
Yeah, well, that's what he gets for being on that basketball team. Early morning practice.
Yeah, well.
Here, let me see.
I'll get the dishes.
What? Oh, well, I guess if I am going to get to the hospital on time, I better get dressed. There's more hot coffee right here.
Okay, thank you.
I won't be long, Steve.
Take your time, Audrey. We've got plenty of time.
Are you sure you wouldn't want to stay home from work today?
No, Jeremy, I don't. I want to go to work. And listen, you don't have to go to school if you don't want to.
And your teachers will understand, too.
You guys want me to miss school just because of a dumb newspaper article? You gotta be crazy.
Oh, Jeremy.
I mean, and if anybody says one word about my mom, they're gonna get the old one, too.
You're blacking an eye for me, huh?
You bet I would.
Yeah. I'll second that idea.
Well, I always knew I can count on my men to protect me.
Yeah, well, you got me, and you got Steve, and you got Jeff. We'll protect... Oh.
I hear your school bus.
Yeah, I do, too.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get my books. Take care of my old lady at the hospital.
I will.
Promise? Okay.
See you tonight.
Okay.
Stack it.
Oh, I'm coming over. Well...
Don't trip and fall.
Okay.
But hurry.
I'm hurrying. Whoa.
You got it?
Oh, I love you, Mom. I'm coming.
Oh, hello. Bye, Jeremy.
Goodness. Well, hello, you two. Come on in.
Thank you. We were on our way to work, and we just thought we'd drop by.
Morning, Jessie. Bobbie.
Morning.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I think I'll go upstairs and see how Audrey's coming along.
Sure.
How you doing, girl? Oh, a little rough around the edges, I suppose. Have you seen the paper?
Yeah.
Pretty tragic about Diana, isn't it?
I think we're all in a state of shock. We came by because we wanted to say we were 100% behind you. We know you had nothing to do with her death.
Thank you both. You have no idea what that means to me. I'm sure you both were aware of the conflicts we've been having.
Well, and we just want you to know that if you need anything, we're here for you.
Thank you. All I really need right now is to know I got my friends.
Well, friend, you got them.
Oh, thank you. Bobbie. Oh, you too. Oh, gosh, it's a good feeling.
Well, listen, I'll tell you one thing you can do for us.
What?
Well, if you're going to work this morning, let us drive you in, and the three of us will walk in that hospital together, because I don't expect anybody to say anything to you about anything.
Thank you. Thank you both. Well, I am ready. I just have to put the dishes in the kitchen. We'll be off, okay?
Don't rush. Take your time.
Okay.
This stinks.
Wow.
I hope the kids don't give Jeremy a hard time at school.
I certainly hope they don't.
Okay, I'm ready. Okay.
Anne?
Yeah.
We heard that PJ.
Yeah. Kind of a bittersweet moment, I suppose, huh? It's wonderful Jeff's got his son. But at what cost? Let's get out of here. Come on.
Yep, I can't